Look, Slim Thug earned $80,000 selling mixtapes out the trunk of his car in high school, fam. 11th grade, Acres Home. Look, he met DJ 5000 Watts, Michael Watts, at Club All Stars, and he was the DJ. End up getting with him. Him, J Dog, and Lil Mario went over there and recorded Swisher House 98. He say, bro, ever since then, it was up. Look, he graduated with nearly $100,000, fam, in a stash box. He say he was operating, they were operating like a distribution company. Like they became Southwest. They rented a car, went everywhere down I-10 to all the little local mom and pop shops and got they shit popping. Look, bro, this is salutable. I know a lot of people say Slim Thug is stupid, but this boy is a long way from an idiot. He just says the darndest things. Drop it in the comments. I'm just being honest, just being real. Look, IShowSpeed was banned from the Galleria Mall in Houston. Look, the man came to Houston streaming on his little streaming tour, fam. Big streaming tour. He went go get a grill from Johnny Dang. He even made time to go get him a Trill burger from Bun B. Now, after ice skating at the Galleria, they stopped him. Houston police, HPD, managers, everybody stopped him. They say he was causing a ruckus, informed them that he was no longer able to enjoy himself. He was banned from the Galleria Mall. They say he brought too many people with him. He had brought way too many people with him. Look, shout out IShowSpeed. Shout out to him, bro. He's one of the biggest streamers in the world. And if you don't know him, go check him out because he's doing big things, man. I got to be honest, got to be real. And the boys stay dancing and flipping. You know what I mean? And running. All right, so I'm dropping in the comments. Scars from the playground. Look, Kendrick Lamar lost over 1 billion Spotify streams. Look, Spotify's taking action and purging bots. Yeah, they taking action, fam. Kendrick went from 1.76 billion listeners down to 731 million listeners, putting him in third place, right behind Travis Scott. We all know who's in first. It's still Drake. Look, Drake numbers didn't change. A lot of people numbers didn't change now. Some people shit stayed the same. What really got my attention was the fact that Doja numbers dropped. Then they slid her all the way down the list. Her and Juice WRLD. Look, radio stations are facing RICO charges for something payola to spin GNX on repeat. Even 97.9 The Box stand to get in trouble for it, bro. This is Houston. We wasn't really jamming all that shit anyway. Man, we want some local talent, you know, on the station. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Look, Jay-Z demands the identity of his alleged victim, Jane Doe. Look, he's demanding Jane Doe be forced to reveal her identity. Says she launched a calculated smear campaign while hiding behind anonymity. Did everything she could to take the respect of the people from him. And a lot of people still believe it. You know why? Because the lawsuit was dropped. Dropped with prejudice, meaning she can't be filed. She can't refile that motherfucker. But she say she was scared into doing it. Yeah. Drop it in the comments. Jay-Z is countersuing for defamation. He want her ass. Not only that, he want his life back. The one he originally had before everybody thought he was a piece of shit. I don't think you should be able to sue nobody and not show your face or your name. Yeah, one should be able to know who's suing. Who did he assault? Drop it in the comments. Everybody want to know, dog. Just being honest, just being real. Look, NLE Choppa is accused of starving out his 1-year-old son. His son. You know what I mean? This is not cute, bro, nor is it funny. Look, it came to everybody's attention because his BM is mad. NLE Choppa is taking her to court for full custody despite not being around this child, barely calling a check on him. And I don't blame him too much because he's only 2 years old. Now, that wasn't the part that alarmed me now. What raised my eyebrows was the fact that at 1 year old, he allegedly was starving the boy out, made him start fasting, at an early age. Too early, if you ask me, bro. This is horrible. You should never force your shit upon that child, especially a fucking infant. The mama say every time the boy would come back home, he'd be starving, ready to eat anything. Look, drop it in the comments, NLE Choppa, this ain't looking good. Leave that woman alone and her son. Look, Lil Boosie throwing shots at Ralo. Look, Ralo recently did a Say Cheese interview in which he say he pulled up on Boosie in Atlanta to confront him about that snitching shit. All them allegations, Boosie say he was a rat. Look, bro, he say he pulled up on that, stopped that. Well, Lil Boosie, he say he don't deny that the meeting happened, but it didn't go the way Ralo is trying to put it. Yeah, Ralo wasn't on some rah-rah shit. In fact, he say what they talked about wouldn't help him out, but the world don't need to know. They agreed to keep this shit off the internet. Look how fast Ralo is backtracking. He say, leave that alone. Yeah, leave that alone before you get something you really don't want. Basically, your mouth is gonna write a check your ass can't cash, man. Look, drop it in the comments. You know, Boosie has been quiet, but they say it's because of his time. Bruh facing 6 months house arrest at most. May never do a day in prison. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Look, Ray J requests to take a shower with IShowSpeed. Look, I don't know what's going on with Ray J, but he made this announcement, shared the message from a steaming bathroom. Says he wants to shower with IShowSpeed since Kanye rejected his advances. In Mafiathon 3, Ray J tried to get in the shower with Kanye, even though it was a skit, because Kanye wasn't naked. Nobody really takes showers in their boxes. It's all skit, but Ray J say he's the new Diddy. This is how he wants to play. Well, look, IShowSpeed, he say you done did a interview with Kevin Gates. That's like his brother. Kevin Gates will set it up and he will see you soon, nigga. Look, Ray J, get off the gas, bro. These are just young podcasters and Ray J trying to get a little piece of that. That's all that is, man. Trying to get a little piece of that, and this is his way in. Humiliation. He don't mind. You know, he don't mind. Drop it in the comments. Scores from the playground. Shout out IShowSpeed. Look, Dave Blunt's throwing shots at Kanye West. He sent him a message. He said, I can no longer continue to work on this album. I'm going on my own journey. And it doesn't align with what you want me to do. Appreciate the opportunity, but peace, brother. I am out. Ye responded. Ye say, what parts didn't align with you? David Blunt responded. Dave Blunt's thought boss to this, what I like to call him. Well, he responded, you are very lost. Please, find God. You know what I mean? Look, bro, Kanye West was causing this man opportunities. Fucking with Kanye was making him lose opportunities, bro. Bro got on writing cousins about giving fellatio to his little cousin. Got on writing about Hitler. Look, he ain't getting too many opportunities on it. He got his own pain and emotions that he needs to sing about. He ain't with it. Drop it in the comments, man. Scores from the playground. Look, 1090 Jake throwing shots at Yak Gotti. Look, Yak Gotti called 1090 Jake a bitch. A bitch. 1090 Jake responded, say, bro, that man is a bitch. He's the one that talked to police for an extra 2 hours for a chopped cheese and a Coke. This is how they do. This is how they do, bro. When they get them in there and they get them real hungry, they liable to just eat a burger or something in front of you, bro, just to see your mouth water. Keep you in there for an extra couple hours. You'll be dying to talk. You just give me some sandwich. Give me some fries. They ain't got to get you nothing new. Well, look, 1090 Jake, I wouldn't call him a bitch, bro, but I don't know him personally, bro. I can tell you this. He does the Lord's work. Yeah, he puts out shit we need to know about, man. Point blank, period. Might hurt some feelings, but the information is needed. This ain't the 90s no more, or the early 2000s. Everything you do in the dark should come to the light. Drop it in the comments. Shout out 1090J. Look, Obie Trice signed to Conor McGregor's Greenback Records, a new record label. Look, bro, he's announcing his return to hip-hop. Dropped a new single called TBH on the 12th of September. That's the day I always remember. Cause you know why? That was the day that my daddy died. I'm fucking with you, bro. That's the Temptations. But look here, Obie Trice is back. He say he dropping a new album. That's on the way soon. Last album was dropped in 2006 by Shady Records and Interscope. They call him Eminem's protege, bro. Look, shout out Conor McGregor. He obviously has a love for hip hop and the arts. But what happened between you and Eminem, bro? What happened? That's the story here. Now, Obie Trice can rap. Be rapping his ass off. I ain't even heard TBH. I ain't heard it, to be honest. But what happened between you and Eminem? That is the story, bro. You talk about that, yeah, everybody go listen to the music. Drop it in the comments.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business.